day, everyone. Abraham Carranza coming to you from my Mastermind.
And Emily Carranza.
Hope you guys are having a great day, great week. Kind of wrapping up this week, and we were discussing auto-suggestion with desire, and we're in relation to specialized knowledge. And the reason we're talking about specialized knowledge, to give you a good understanding of what it is to know, understand, comprehend, and utilize the tools you have, and where to go when you're needing specific information to accomplish a goal, accomplish directives, whatever it is in life that you're going through. You want to seek specialized knowledge. And what's the difference between specialized knowledge and general knowledge?
Well, specialized knowledge is going to be aimed towards a directive. So whether that's a specific field that you're in, a goal that you're wanting to achieve, or some kind of result and outcome that you're really wanting. And that's where specialized knowledge really kicks in, because that's going to allow you to get started and really achieve the goals or results that you want. And another thing about specialized knowledge is that you don't have to have it. You can find the people and the means to be able to get you in alignment and to achieve the things that you want.
Right. So let's discuss general knowledge. Now, general knowledge, regardless the quality or the quantity of the information, knowledge alone will not attract money. It won't do it. And if we really want to see that to the test, well, go look at every librarian, go look at everybody that's had bundles and bundles of knowledge, and yet still their monthly income, their yearly income still averages around the same. Mm-hmm. Why is that still happening? Even though they could have gone to the best schools, they could have master's, doctorate degrees, and they plateau at some point, and they're still making more or less the same amount of revenue.
Well, a lot of that has to do with, there are different things that honestly kind of go into it. One of them is going to be the self-image and the self-confidence. Mm-hmm. Also is going to be having, most of those people don't have a end directive. They don't have a goal that they're necessarily working towards.
There you go.
So,
right. So a lot of times people get stopped in their tracks, mm-hmm. or here comes conformity, right? What is conformity? Conformity is it's like a thief in the night. It'll take your dream away, right? A lot of people conform to a way of living. They conform to their level of awareness. This is so important. Mm-hmm. When we conform to our level of awareness, we cannot proceed any further than what we have. And majority of the people, once they've hit their plateau, they've hit their limit. And let's look at someone that hit a limit in education. If they didn't continue to educate themselves or get specialized knowledge in a field of operations, they're not going to go any further in their line of business, whatever it is. If the individual decides to go to school, once again, they're going to go into what? Into a format, and they're going to go into a program, and more or less they're going to earn more or less what they're dictated they will earn within that area field of expertise, right? Mm-hmm. And normally they stay within those realms for the rest of the time if they do not go back and learn more specialized knowledge or put it to practice in their own behalf, right?
Yes.
And this is, again, it's different models, different levels of awareness, and then you could have somebody who's got a doctorate or master's degrees in a field, and again, they're gonna become the medium of that field of revenue as well. So when we start looking at all these different brackets, really what it's doing, it's placing you in a time of experiences. It's placing you within a model of a form of dynamics. So that could be, it could be labor, it could be office work, but it's always going to be a format of trading your value, always, right? So you can also take someone that has literally no education, and you've seen them go way past the norm and do something completely out of the box. Why is that happening?
Well, typically those individuals, they don't have this idea of what they can and cannot do. So their beliefs is that if they really want something, they desire it, then they can go and achieve it. Most of the time, those people don't have the education or information that they need towards where it's like, oh, if you want to go apply for maybe a bank loan, you have to do this, and this. They just go and do it, and that helps them to achieve and be able to accomplish what people think is impossible.
Right. So a lot of times these individuals, and I've seen it both ways, but a lot of times I'll see entrepreneurs and I'll see serial entrepreneurs. A lot of times they're going above and beyond the norm, and they receive above and beyond the norm. But they're doing something different. They're operating from a different perspective and a different side of a personality trait. And what I like to call is your spiritual personality, your creative personality. So these individuals, because they didn't go to school and they didn't get they're not educated in a certain field of practice, they've got to learn how to do what? Create their own model, right? And if you got to learn to create your own model, that means you're going to have to create the format. You're going to have to learn how to build a blueprint. You're going to have to design the model. And then you're going to have to trade some form of value for revenue and revenue streams, right?
Yeah.
But that individual is learning how to master what? His creativity, creative vision. What?
His higher faculties.
He's learning to apply the higher faculties. And this is why these individuals, a lot of times, they will way over soar, and their revenues show the same thing. They'll go way above and beyond what that average limited beliefs, limited amounts of revenue streams that they would have normally have generated if they would have gone into physical trade or a business trade, because they're going to learn how to create the whole model.
And not just that, whenever someone really desires such a thing like that, they're getting fueled by it, because now they're waking up and they're driven, because now it's almost like a game, like it's fun, it's something that they can really get emotionally involved with and try to just keep on growing, and it's really
self-fulfilling.
exciting.
This is what it is. So when you start to use the higher faculties and you start to use your creative abilities, you start to use your creative visioneering, you can call it more or less your creative faculties, your higher faculties, and you start using that creativity and the imagination. What you're doing is you're inducing something from within, and you're being guided by this inner goal. And pretty soon, once you've built this inner goal and you have it, it's a desire. And as you continue to move towards it, it continues to move towards you, because it's vivifying you. You see, when you really desire something, you go to bed with it and you wake up with it. And that's why those individuals, normally they're soaring way above. Can you imagine living a fulfilled life where every day you wake up, you're ready to attack your day, you're ready to manifest, you're ready to grow? Well, a lot of people are not living that way, right? Mm-hmm. So in specialized knowledge, we're understanding the keys to the kingdom, shall I say. Specialized knowledge is understanding first, I have to have a goal. Mm-hmm. That's setting the direction, right? Next, I need to paint the image, because we think in pictures, right? We think in pictures.
Yes.
So the goal, we need to build a big picture, and we can need to be the center of it, but we have to build the picture. What happens when we build the picture?
Well, the more you can really visualize and really see the outcome that you want, the more emotionally involved you're going to get with it, and the more you're going to want to take action and start moving towards it. Not only that, but the more the circumstances, the people, place, and things you will find will start to show up in your life.
Yep. And this, a lot of times, as you're inducing this, because you're being fueled by it, and it's vivifying you, you're going to bring more what? By playing with this image and by building this image and more clarity, and you keep building more clarity, you're building more what?
More of desire.
Yep. So you're fueling it, and before long, it'll start to move you, right? So I want to give everybody kind of an illustration. And the reason I always say, when you're thinking of a goal, I want you to build the image, because we're thinking images, so you need to build this image. And the reason this image, think about a puzzle. When you're working on a puzzle, and if I were to throw all the pieces on the table and say, have at it, boys, and I give you no picture, no model to go off of, how long would it take you to put that together?
A lot longer.
Oh yeah, you may quit, right?
Yeah.
But if I give you an image to work with, then you can start a piece at a time putting it together. So this is why it's so important, is we build this image and then we start looking backwards to where we're at now, right? So we build this image and we start working backwards. And this is how we start connecting these dots, right? Mm-hmm. And a goal is to grow. So it's the process. As you evolve and you grow into this process, this creative process, it's who you become along the way, right? The experiences. And one of the biggest things, do we ever change the goal?
No. We can change the plan as to how we get there, but whenever you set a goal and you set an directive, you want to keep to it, because once you make a decision, it's set. You can change the plan as to how you get there, because the more you grow and the more knowledge and the more information you get and you receive, maybe the more you'll start to understand, well, instead of going here, 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 I'm just going to go straight here.
Right. So now you're cutting through the growth process. And how would you do that?
That's a good question.
Specialized knowledge.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? We're gonna go find
the people.
Yeah. So this is where specialized knowledge comes in. We have general and we have specialized. General is going to be an overview of a bunch of information. I've met a lot of people like that. Very highly educated and very formal way of being, and they can specifically touch on several topics, but that alone will not generate income. You've got to find specialized knowledge, and it needs to be directed to the definite end of
an end result
of making money, right? So you've got to tie this all together, and this knowledge, as you start to bring it together, you're going to create the practical plans of actions towards the definite end of generating revenue, right? So as we're looking at specialized knowledge, you can find this knowledge almost around any corner. So earlier you kind of touched on it, and you said, well, you alone do not have to acquire the knowledge or have the acquired knowledge yourself. What do we want to do?
You want to find the people that specialize in that field that are generating, maybe it's the amount of income, if not more, and have them help you, or even learn from them, study them. That's one of the really big things about specialized knowledge. Maybe you're wanting to be a writer or whatever it is. Go and study the people that are excelling in that field, right, and really start to understand what is it that they're doing, what are they doing different. And
this is where we start getting into the mastermind principle. So a lot of people may be wondering, what is the mastermind principle? What does that mean? And very first thing, the mastermind is each and every one of us. Each and every one of us is a mastermind. We have limited potential. We have unlimited reservoirs of growth that we could accomplish. We have everything at our fingertips if we really understand that we are perfect. And the more we start to understand that this perfection is within us, the clearer it's going to be, and the more we're going to find it, because we're looking for it and we're breathing it and we're building it. And that's what we teach people how to do here. So as we start understanding that I am the mastermind and it is within me, I decide where I go today. I can decide what direction I go in, and I can create the life I want. And if I don't find the circumstances that I so desire, I make them. I create them. So this is saying I am the mastermind, and I'm starting to know who I am, right?
That's really where specialized knowledge comes and kicks in, because kind of what Abraham's kind of going into, I'm going to step back a little bit, but the more of specialized knowledge you can have, the more confidence you're going to have, the more you're going to believe that you are perfect, and the more you're going to start taking action and moving into whatever it is that you're wanting. Because the more you have the information and knowledge, and you know that you know, the more you're going to start taking action. You're going to see it, and you're going to create it for yourself. You're going to create the circumstances. You're going to create, and you're going to align yourself with the people, the places, and the things. Right.
So as we start to understand these principles, these laws, and learning the right order of things, we start to look for other people. And this is where the mastermind principle comes into effect. And the mastermind principle is two or more people working to the direction of the definite end of the purpose, the goal, right? So now you want to find a group. If we're going to find a group of individuals, are we going to look down the street? You need to be very careful who you pick. Why?
because the people that you surround yourself, you're going to become a medium of whoever you're around, and that's including your family life, because the people that you go home to, that's also a mastermind. So you want to be very conscious and very aware of who you're around, and what are you thinking and what are you accepting into your mind.
Right, because the people that you surround yourself with, ultimately you are the medium of those individuals. So you want to find people that are going the same direction that you want to go. You want to find people that are hungry. If I'm talking to people on this call, I am talking to people that want to grow. If I'm engaging in someone, I want to engage with people that want to grow. I want to engage with people that are ready to what?
That are ready and willing to take
ready
action.
And willing. I don't want to waste my time with individuals that are really not hungry and don't really want to take on the goal. I want to find people that really want to achieve great things, because I want to help them accomplish that. So whenever I like to surround myself with high performance individuals. I like to surround myself with individuals that are hungry. I like to help people. And I want to find people that are ready, willing, and able to recondition their mindset to achieve the goals that they really desire. So again, I am choosing my group. I am choosing my mediums according to how I want my lifestyle to be. And if we really start to understand this, and we really start to understand, well, my goodness, I am the medium of the people I hang around with. I am the medium of the 5 people I associate with. I am the medium of my family. Then I'm going to start to regulate where I'm at and what I'm doing, right?
And another thing about having a mastermind, why it's so powerful, is, well, for one, whenever you are with a collective that you're all working towards an end result, and you're all really high performance individuals, maybe the length that it would have taken you, maybe it would have been here, and you're here. But with that collective, you're going to get there a lot faster.
Shorten the gap. You can really shorten the gap. So you go find people that have that specialized knowledge in the different areas that you need. You want to look at your abilities. What are my abilities? I want to find people that are going to lift me in my other areas that I need help in. So you're going to build a mastermind group. Build a solid mastermind group with individuals, one, specialized knowledge. They have all the native abilities in each and every department that you're seeking. And then we're going to come to harmony within the group. You need to have harmony within the group. Otherwise, you're going to cause discord. You're going to create problems. So everybody's got to be in harmony. You find these individuals that are in harmony. There's got to be a trade. There's nothing for free. And if we want to do things not in alignment, and we want to take, this is where we create imbalance, and there's a problem. So there's got to be a trade for each one of the masterminds. And we're all in harmony together. We're going to all push together. We're going to all work together. And normally these individuals, if they're all high performance, they're going to do what?
They're going
to excel. And each one of them is going to say, we want to go here. Let's bring our minds together. That grouping of the minds becomes almost like multiple batteries. If we're one battery, how much power do we have? But if we're multiple batteries and we all come together for the progression of a worthy idea, we are very much more powerful. You have 2 minds, you have 3, you have 3, you have 4, right? So as we understand the specialized knowledge, the accumulation of great wealth, and when I say wealth, I'm talking about great wealth, the accumulation of great wealth, and there's a call for great power, right? And this great power cannot come together unless it is highly organized, intelligently directed, right? Specialized knowledge to the definite end of generating money. You always have the money because money is the trade. If you're not organizing your patterns, your thought patterns, if you're not organizing your thoughts, organizing people to the definite end of acquiring wealth, you're spinning your wheels, because that was the trade. There's got to be a cause and an effect. The cause is, remember the laws of compensation? The need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. So these 3 laws come into effect anywhere you're at in life. It doesn't matter whether you're building a company, whether you're an entrepreneur and you're building your own company. working within the company, you're working in labor, you're working in sales, you're in business, finance, you will always be the measure of these three principles. And I'm going to repeat them again because it's very important. You are always directly in alignment, and your income is always in equal proportion to the need for what you do. The need for what you do, principle one, is what is the necessity of your trade? What is the value? How much of a trade is needed in your area or whatever practice you're in? So the need for what you do. That's there's a ratio of income within that level. So the need for what you do, your ability to do it. This is one of the main important ones, and if you solve this one, you'll take care of the other two. Your ability to do it. So if you want to be a salesman, again, this regulates the amount of income. Your ability to do it. If you're in sales, master the sales. Right? If you're wanting to build companies, master building, creating processes and systems. Right? Then the last one is going to be the difficulty in replacing you. All of these distinguish the outcome of who and what. Well, it distinguishes my outcome, your outcome, her outcome, everyone's outcome, because it's all regulated by the trade, which is money. Mm-hmm. So we want to get really good at trading. We need to get really good at mastering these three principles. And if we really understand that, we employ the same three principles in a company, right? And as we start to understand this, we use this mastermind group. We master the different areas. We master the trade. Master the trade. There's got to be a cause, right? You master the cause, and the results will start lining up for you.
Yes, it's going to be QQS, quantity, quality of service.
Rendered. Always. And it was Andrew Carnegie. I'm going to read what Andrew Carnegie said here. The accumulation of great fortune calls for power. Power is accumulated through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge. But the person, and this is very important here, but the person who has the knowledge or the person that collects the knowledge does not necessarily have to be the one that has all of the knowledge itself. He can collect all the revenue if he knows how to put everybody together and sell the idea. So when I start looking at businesses and when I start looking at myself, I don't have to have all the knowledge. All I have to do is hire the people that do.
And a really great example of that is going to be, every time I think of specialized knowledge, I think of Henry Ford. I believe Napoleon Hill wrote about it. Do you want to tell the story? Or?
Yeah, I might miss little pieces here, but Henry Ford, there was a good illustration. Ford had an idea, and he put his idea to practice. He created the first Model A vehicle, and a lot of people would call him stubborn and obstinate, and actually he was highly intelligent. He was ridiculed by a lot of people because he didn't have an education, so-called education. So a lot of people would look down on him, and he ended up taking the news tabloids to court because they were saying he was an uneducated man. And what we really need to understand, and he proved this in court, they were asking him all kind of book knowledge, right? So again, general knowledge, all kinds of book knowledge. And they were asking him about different wars in history, different information on, I guess, politics and whatnot. And they're asking him all these different questions. And he said, and he stopped them. He said, let me tell you what. He goes, I got a row of buttons on my desk. And if I acquire any knowledge in any area, I've got a row of buttons. I could push any one of them, and I'll find you the specialized knowledge that I need. Why would I clutter my mind? Why would I clutter my mind with information that's not going to serve me and where I'm going? So what the important lesson here was that he had all the knowledge. He had all the specialized knowledge that he needed. And if he needed more, he had a row of buttons that he could just push, and they would come to his command. And then they could regurgitate the information, whatever it was that was needed for the application of whatever they were working on. Mm-hmm. So what Ford knew how to do, Ford took on he's a higher level awareness. he knew that he didn't have to have it all. All he had to do is put processes and systems, work on the cause, and he would hire the people that have that specialized knowledge in those fields of operations. So as we really start understanding this, then that gives us power individually. Well, I don't have to know it all. So I just find the people that do. There's one thing Bob always says, and I really liked it when he said it. He said, do it, delegate it, or ditch it. 3 Ds. Do it, delegate it, or ditch it. If we're going to go into business, and I've done this several times, if I don't want to do it, first I need to figure out, do I want to do this or not? Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do it. If I don't want to do it, then I'm going to delegate it. And if I know that I'm not going to do either one of them, then ditch it. Be done with it. Don't waste your time. Right? And decision causes patterns. This is why it's so important. Decision making and using these laws of success are so important, because it's putting you in the right mindset. A lot of people don't understand. We've been conditioned through economically, we've been conditioned through school, we've been conditioned through culture to really not to think. Really not to think. And a lot of you say, well, I'm thinking. I do think. I think all the time. Well, mental activity, what?
It doesn't constitute as thinking.
Correct. It doesn't. So you can say, well, I think all day long. It does not. Mental activity does not constitute thinking. So thinking is very hard, and that's why few people do it. Thinking requires you to wield this power. That means you're going to take this higher medium of yourself, this higher personal factor about yourself, and you're going to start thinking about plots and plans in the direction to the definition of an accomplishment of a desire. Mm-hmm. There's very few people that will completely say, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to move my mind in that direction, and I'm going to focus with my will, and I will govern my body.
Until they attain the object that they seek.
Until they have it. Very few people do this, and very few people think. So when we start understanding that thinking is focused mind, focused with the will, focused direction, energy to the direction of the completion of the thought form itself. A lot of people really don't understand that. So what we're doing is we're bringing order to your mind. And that's what a lot of culturally never really happened. Culturally, we're always taught, listen, do what I tell you to do. Follow, stop imagining. Don't use your imagination, listen, focus. Well, what they're telling you to do, and they're dumbing people down, is not to use your mind. If you don't use your mind and you're being told what to do, this is why we have a culture of what?
Well, I mean, we have a culture of getting sucked back in and getting stuck into daily trivia, and ultimately...
And you never create. They tell you what to do. Okay, you're going to come in at this time. You're going to follow these processes. You're going to move and do this, and this, and you get paid. You're not thinking. You're being told what to move and how to move. Right? Mm-hmm. So we're rarely using the creative faculty of our mind to create wealth. We're really thinking of how to create a pattern plan. We're really thinking of how many people were taught how to create a blueprint and create a model of a company. We weren't, right? So a lot of the thinking process never really has been worked on, and we were really never taught. That's the reason we don't know how. If we don't have our own, we're not doing these things which are out of our norm, it's because we weren't programmed to do them. This is what's so important, and this is the reason why how to change their mindset, and we teach them how to what? Rewrite the script. Sorry guys, the phone.
Okay.
So as we really start understanding this mindset, and we start understanding there are no problems, we don't have any problems, what we have is mindset problems. And we start working on our mindset, we can organize eating patterns, we can take control of our thoughts, we can manifest and create anything we want, but we need to have that guidance, and we need to bring order to our mind, right? Mm-hmm. What's heaven's first law?
It's order.
In whose mind?
Our own.
Yes, and this is how we can take and create anything that we choose. We can build companies, we can do services rendered, we have limitless potential. And if we really start to understand that, and we can direct it to the definite end of wealth, sky's the limit. So, anything else you want to touch on specialized knowledge?
I think we've covered over most of it, but I'd be lying to you.
I think we've got the depth of it. The main thing is, I would say, as far as services rendered, whenever you're selling an idea or you're selling, always remember we think in images, and because we think in images, we need to understand that we need to speak in images. So people, they get a better idea whenever we can create an image of what we're talking about. So we're in sales, we want to build the image, and we want to, the old saying was sell the sizzle, right? Don't sell the part, sell the sizzle of the part. What is the part going to do for you? How am I going to change your life by my services, right? So when you're selling the benefits, this is where you succeed and you do very, very, very well. You can have one company, two companies, one across the street from the other, and you'll have one that's blooming and blossoming and growing and doing great things, and the other one has really low sales. Well, it's because somebody has mastered the art of what? Of selling, right? So when we start looking at our services rendered, we start to really understand that there's a way of doing things. And if we can really understand and master that way, you're going to master your life. So we hope this serves you guys. If you guys are looking for more information, or you want to take the next step, you want to break through, you want to build your own company, you want to go further wherever you are in the company that you're in now, you can do anything you want, and we can show you how to get it. Everything begins and ends in the mind, and it's our mindset that gives us our results. That's it. There could be no other thing. So we hope this serves you guys. We have programs, scaling classes throughout the week, and we have 3 month, 6 month, 1 year programs for you guys to help you accomplish whatever goals you have, whatever it is that you want to accomplish. We also have a business matrix program. Anybody that's entrepreneurs, anybody, whether you're beginning entrepreneurs or you're mid-range or veterans, we work with different applications, different wealth mindsets as well. Whether you're earning hundreds to millions monthly, it's all just a number. The key is our mindset. So we hope this serves you, and we look forward to seeing you guys.
Yes, and just before we kind of hop off, so I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're gonna be doing webinars every other Friday. So next Friday we won't be having one, but the Friday after that we should be having a live webinar, and I will get that posted as soon as possible. So just make sure you guys are looking into that.
All right, everyone. Everyone have a great Friday and a great weekend. We'll be seeing you guys.